Hi. Okay, so the term developmental psychology as it relates to infants refers to the critical stage of human development from birth to age 2. Some of the key growth components that infants develop include cognitive growth, social capabilities, and motor skills and development. Infants specifically, are often referred to as sponges because they kind of just soak in and take up everything that they're offered, and they're great. They're sponges. Child psychologist Jean Piaget pioneered the cognitive theory to explain and understand how children are able to learn and think psychologically. Piaget also explained how influential parents and guardians are in the psychological development of infants. Obviously, parents are one of the biggest contributions to a child's development. Babies with regular touch have a stronger neurological connection and a greater overall well-being than those who don't. Regular touch and care can also provide a low birth weight and other really deadly serious health conditions due to emotional disorders and stress. And this is from the Washington University School of Medicine, who also created a study with 92 7 to 9-year-olds that displays those who had received more nurture from their parents and guardians while they were infants had a thicker hippocampus, which can a thicker hippocampus just kind of displays improved memory and focus. They also had fewer behavioral and emotional issues like anxiety and depression. If I were to give advice to an expecting mother about the sleeping patterns of an infant, I would obviously warn her that you're probably not going to get a lot of sleep. Infants typically sleep 16-ish to 17 hours a day, which is strange because then you'd think, oh, I'll get tons of sleep when I have a baby, but that's just not always the case, because 20 to 30% of infants have sleeping disorders. So expect the unexpected for every expecting mother. My little brother, Seth, when he was a baby, he would cry and cry and cry literally all night long. We're a 5-kid family, so we all shared the same room, and it was absolute torture. While he was in his crib, he would not fall asleep for months at night. I've heard of cycling before, and he would not sleep at night unless one of our older sisters, me, my older sister, and my younger sister were right next to his crib with our hand on it all night long, and we did that for months. So pros and cons of breastfeeding. Obviously, there are so many pros to breastfeeding. I'm not really sure of too many cons other than I've heard that it is very hard to wean babies off of breast milk because there's nothing better. I've heard it's liquid gold. Breastfeeding and pumping, I hear that stuff can get rid of rashes really easy. Breast milk, liquid gold. There's hardly a con to breast milk itself. Some of the pros, though, for breastfeeding your child is it promotes good weight gain for infants. It can give your baby more immunity. It can lower the chances of respiratory infections, improved immune system function, and a lower risk of fever and longer hospitalization. So lots of pros to breastfeeding. In general, infants begin developing their motor skills from the center of the body, and then they move outward. Babies will start by moving their head, moving their eyes, moving their neck, and then they'll start to control their head and neck, and they'll start to maneuver their arms, and after they get a good grasp on their arms, they can start crawling a little, using their legs, kicking their legs, pulling themselves to a stand. They'll be able to use their fingers and grasp things later on also. So babies develop from inward all the way up. And after that, obviously, babies will develop their fine motor skills. Small little skills that are kind of meticulous is the word that I want to use. Like tying their shoes, writing, doing puzzles, that type of thing.